We're turning our attention to the hardwood. We're going to the ACC for the college basketball weekend preview. UNC heads to Duke to take on the Blue Devils. The 15-7 Tar Heels take on the 16-6 Blue Devils. It's going to be a really, really great game, as both of these teams, you see with their 7-4 ACC record, come into this game pretty evenly matched. UNC comes in off of a loss to Pitt, which I'm crediting to the fact that they had kind of overlooked Pitt, which is a middle tier, bottom tier ACC school, kind of had overlooked the Panthers and had their sights set on this massive rivalry game. And that's what caused the kind of second half meltdown. UNC ended up losing by 1 at home to Pitt. Now they're on the road to take on Duke. Look, there's a lot of things that go into this game, and I've been following along with UNC a little bit this season. UNC has one of the best post players in the nation, right? They have Armando Bacot. And early on in the season, they weren't necessarily feeding him all that much, but as of late, they've kind of figured out how to. 51.4% of all of UNC's points come from two. They're ninth, which is ninth in the country, and they get to the charity stripe at a really high rate. So they're playing inside out more. But the issue is the fact that their three-point shooting this season has been absolutely atrocious. This season, the Tar Heels are 304th in the nation in three-point shooting percentage. Let me remind you, there's only 363 teams in the entire Division I. So they are in by far the bottom third. They aren't a good three-point shooting team, yet for some reason, being 304th in shooting percentage, you'd think you'd be in the lower third in threes taken. They're kind of in the middle of the pack. They're 186th in the nation in three-point attempts per game. They average 21.5 threes per game, and at shooting it at about 31% on the season, they're averaging about 6 makes a game, so you're leaving a lot of points out there, and that's a big reason they've been losing so many close games, and they haven't been looking as strong. And it bothers me because you have Armando Bacot. I really think you should just be pounding it inside a lot more often than they are. Caleb Love, he's all right. Leaky Black, all right. These guys just haven't been able to hit at a consistent clip behind the arc. Leaky Black, more of a defender, but Caleb Love, his kind of lack of shooting ability has been really apparent for the Tar Heels this season. He has a sub 100 offensive rating, and that's not what you want out of a guy who's one of your go-to kind of scores, especially last year during that run that they had. He was kind of that guy. He's a streaky shooter. He plays really well against Duke, so maybe he figures things out again in this game, but on the season, that's not necessarily what's kind of been the MO of this team. UNC, though, even with all of those issues, even with being one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the nation, they're so good and so efficient from inside the arc that they're still a top 30 offense, according to KenPom. Duke, on the other hand, also struggles from shooting deep, and they actually struggle at shooting the two at a consistent rate. They're 156th in the nation in two-point percentage. These two teams match up really well, and UNC, according to KenPom right now, looks to be about a 3-point underdog. I actually like UNC to cover that and potentially even win this game, but I think it'll be a close game throughout. These two teams very evenly matched. The metrics show that they're very, very similar. So I think UNC and Duke keep it in a close game. Neither team really gets out to a huge lead at any point. And I mean, UNC's really good at getting to the line. They're really good at hitting their free throws. So I think if UNC's in a close one late, they may be able to keep it close with some free throws late. And it comes down to the fact that I think UNC has maybe the best player on the court, maybe the best player in the ACC, but maybe I'm too high on Bacot. Maybe that's just a me thing, but I think he's going to be the best player on the court right now. And I think they also have the potential to have the second best player on the court if Caleb Love wants to show up. And because of that, I think this is a fantastic bounce back spot for UNC to get this big time win in the ACC. I mean, you're sitting at 7-4. Duke is going to be near the top at the end of the game, much like the Big 12 game we're going to be breaking down in a little bit. This may have some postseason ACC tournament implications, some seeding implications. So not only is it a massive rivalry game, it's also going to be a huge game for postseason kind of tournament seeding wise. And as we head into February, we only have a handful of games, 2 handful games left. This is a big time game. I think UNC +3 here is the play.